Hello, welcome to yiford instruction video. LED strips have been a widely popular DIY lighting solutions for many applications. Over the years, we have been committed to technology and development of LED strips. Now, we have launched a new type of LED strips, COB Flexible Strip Lighting. This video is the basic information for how to use the COB LED strips, how to cut, connect, and power it. We will start by looking at how to cut the LED strip down to achieve the length you need. To cut the COB LED strips, you simply need a pair of scissors. Before cutting off the COB LED strips, it's important to understand a number of key aspects relating to these products. The COB LED strips only be cut at the point that are marked. Those kind of points are clearly shown by a line across the strips, as you can see here. The cut distance for LED strip varies. In the samples we have here, you can see the cut distance is 55.5 mm for COB LED strips with 378 LEDs per meter. 45.5 mm for COB LED strips with 528 LEDs per meter. 33.3 mm for RGB picture with 210 LED strips per meter. Once you have found the cut line marked on the LED strips, simply use the scissors to cut directly along the line as demonstrated here. It's important to note that COB LED strips must be cut at the specified marks. Cut the strip in the wrong place will result in some of the LEDs in the cut area not working. I will show you how it is the result. These COB strips have been cut indirectly. The end parts were not neat. Compare with the correct cut. Its fully function with lighting. The LED strips in this example is one commercial LED strip from our selection of single color LED strips lighting. Although the same rules apply when cutting our range of color change RGB pictures LED strips. Now, let's move on to how our correction can be made to the LED strips. We supply our LED strips in the length of 5 meters per rear. All the strips will be pre-fitted with 28mm cables. You could ask us aid with 2.1 mm input socket. The terminal collectors for wire and DC collector is also could be ordered. This kit are addition unit for your choice. If you need to cut down the COB LED strips, you need to make the steps yourself to be able to power it. As of course, cutting the strips down will remove the pre-fitted wire or input the socket. There are two ways to make addition connection to the strips when you no longer have the pre-fitted input wire to make use of it. You can either make solder joints or use a clip-on collector. Here I will not talk about how to use the solder area for welding, because using the solder area requires a certain skills, and using the collector is more convenient and fast, and everyone can use it. This is a terminal collector, transparent crystal. You can see that there are two metal sheets, symmetric arranged. Regarding its positive and negative, prepare a 22 AWG wires. Keep the joint of the wire and COB LED strip flat. The positive power of the wire is opposite to the positive power of COB LED strips. Insert the light strip and wire into the corresponding joint position of the collection terminal. Insert the strip into the slot until it is fully no-code and ensure that the copper collection is under the collector's metal needed. To complete the collection, press the metal sheet down with tools until the surface is flat. You can see that the metal pin has been inserted into the wire and the COB strip terminal. Gentle polarity on the COB strips will show that it's located into place that a good connection has been made. As you can see, the LED strip now has two wires connected to it. You can use an LED driver which has screw terminal as input and output connectors to aid power to the strip, as we showing here. If your LED driver is with DC connector, which is shown here, you could use this terminal adapter. You can see that terminal adapter is marked with a positive and negative on its casing to indicate which way round the wire should be collected. The LED strip is also marked with a positive and a negative. So, make sure that the wire collected to positive on the COB LED strip is collected to positive on the terminal adapter, and do the same for the negative wire. Locate the wires in the screw terminals as demonstrated and tighten up the screw terminals. Then, to power the COB LED strips, simply plug the collector from the power supply into the terminal collector. Based on this, we can use this kind of terminal line in the place where it's not convenient to arrange the net strips to form the design scheme of empty in the middle and bright on both sides. For example, when the angle is 90 or 180 degrees, use this terminal line to collect multiple light strips. How can the COB LED strips that has been cut be used again? This is another board-to-board collector terminal, which is also regardless of positive and negative. The positive power of the two light strips are positive and inserted into the terminal. It's used as a tool to press down the metal sheet. The two light strips can be collected seamlessly without affecting the luminous effects. There are another collectors here. Select the corresponding accessories according to the actual installation requirement. Wall of waterproof COB LED strips featured with the strictly type backing as shown here. This backing can be pulled off, and the LED strip can then be stuck down to an appropriately flat, clear surface. Wood, metal, plastic surface are generally fine. The COB light strips emit uniform without dark areas and spots. If you want to better diffuse the light and protect the COB LED strips, you may like to consider our range of aluminum extrusion for COB LED strips. A selection of this is shown here. You could see the difference for SMD and COB LED strips. With aluminum extrusion, could make strips diffused better, and is assist with the cool running and long life of the products. Please see the aluminum extrusion section on our website for more details. Now we look at the parallel COB LED strips. It is important that you don't run too much LED strip as a single linear length with higher current being drawn into the strip can cause damage. We suggested that for 10 watt per meter strips, a maximum run of 5 meters is powered. If you do need to power more than this, then the LED strip should be wired in parallel to the power supply to avoid any damage. When selecting a power supply, we suggested only 20% can room. by this? We mean if your LED strip required 50 watt, 20% added to 50 watt is 60 watt, as the largest power supply would be 60 watt power supply. It is okay to use a power supply that provides more than is required, but you should never use a power supply that is rated the same as your strips required or less. To calculate how much power in watt you need, simply multiply the watt per meter of the strip by the length of strip you are powering. So, if you are powering 5 meters of 10 watt per meter strip, just multiply 5 meters by 10 watt per meter, giving you 15 watt. Then, adding the 20% handroom onto 50 watt gives you 60 watt. So, a power supply rated at 60 watt or 72 watt would be perfect. Even a 60 watt or 20 watt power supply is acceptable, as your COB LED strip would only join the power is needed from the power supply. This video is about cutting, collecting, and powering LED strips. We hope you have found it useful. Please refer our website for other videos for COB LED strip light.